Day 11. The sun in Thessaly is a blacksmith's forge, relentless, beating down on the dust-choked plains. 11 days since we had managed to shake the ghost of Dyrrhachium from our heels. 11 days since the chaos and the rout, since we left Pompey's legions congratulating themselves behind their earthworks. 11 days since we buried the dead by the hundreds, days of hard marching, of parched throats and blistered feet, retreating inland like a whipped dog. Now here we are, camped by a small, sluggish river, the Peneus they call it, barely a trickle in this infernal heat. Stillness. That's what this is. A rare, almost unnatural quiet after the relentless grind. The low hum of 1,000 men, the distant clank of a blacksmith's hammer, the occasional whinny of a cavalry horse. But no trumpets, no shouted orders, no clang of steel on shield. Just the dry cicadas sawing their song in the scrub, and the wind sighing over the sun-baked earth. It's a strange thing, stillness, especially for men like us. We're made for motion, for the advance, for the disciplined brutality of the charge. We're made for the roar of the cohorts, the sharp crack of the pylon volley, the grunt and rasp of the gladius in the close press. Silence, for many, is a burden. It brings the memories, the faces of those we lost, the feel of the enemy's desperate hand at your throat. It brings the fear of what's to come. I watch my men, scattered like exhausted ants. Some sharpen their blades, a rhythmic rasp that offers its own quiet comfort. Others gamble with bone dice, low murmurs of profanity and triumph. A few sit staring blankly into the distance, lost in their own thoughts. Prayers for home, perhaps, or nightmares of the last fight. The Tyrones, the young ones, they fidget the most. They haven't learned yet that stillness is not empty space. It's the forge where you temper your resolve. Centurion Valerius. From the ex-legion. 40 years on this earth. 25 of them under the Aquila. I've seen enough bloodshed to fill the Tiber. Enough betrayal to choke a senator. I've learned to value this stillness. It is, perhaps, a Stoic's advantage. Not that I would call myself a philosopher. My philosophy is forged in the dirt and the blood, hammered out by the march and the battle line. But I have learned, over these long years, that the only thing you truly control is what's within. The world outside, the enemy, the orders from above, the fickle gods. All of it is chaos, a whirlwind that can lift you up or grind you to dust. But your mind, your will, your discipline, those are yours to command. Dyrrhachium was chaos. A brilliant maneuver by Caesar, bottling up Pompey, almost working. But then the line broke, the panic spread, and suddenly we were fighting not the enemy, but our own fear. I remember the weight of the men pressing in, the desperate cries, the sight of a broken standard, the shame of it. My century, what was left of it, stood. We stood because we had nowhere else to go, and because the habit of discipline was stronger than the urge to flee. I remember looking into the eyes of Marcus, my Optio, a veteran like me, and seeing not fear, but a grim resolve. We shared a nod, a silent understanding. We could not control the rout around us, but we could control our own stand. And in that, there was a small, crucial advantage. We held and bought time for others to reform. This stillness now is different. It's not the stillness of a besieged camp, nor the lull before a planned assault. It's the stillness of recovery, of regrouping. Caesar, our general, he knows its value. He spent these past days rallying the spirit, reorganizing the legions, securing what little supplies we have. He's not shouting and raging. He's thinking, planning, observing. He too is taking advantage of this quiet. For me, it's a time to mend the mind as well as the body. My shoulder still aches from a glancing blow at Dyrrhachium, a shield edge that caught me unawares. But the ache in the soul, that's harder to soothe. The faces of the fallen, the decisions made in haste, the cold grip of doubt. Stillness allows me to examine these things, to dissect them, not to dwell, but to learn. What could I have done differently? What did I learn about my men, about myself? I sit on a worn campaign stool, my gladius across my knees, running a thumb along the smooth, cool iron of the guard. The hilt is sweat-stained, the blade nicked and scarred from countless engagements. It's an extension of my arm, as much a part of me as my fingers. It reminds me of purpose. This enforced quiet, it's a crucible. It separates those who can master their inner turmoil from those who are consumed by it. A man who can maintain his composure in battle is strong. A man who can maintain his composure in the stillness, when the demons of the past and the anxieties of the future have free rein, that man is stronger still. He's the one who will not break when the trumpet finally sounds again. He's the one who will lead by example, not just in the charge, but in the waiting. I remember my father, a simple farmer before he was conscripted, telling me about the fallow field. "The ground needs its rest, son," he'd say, his hands gnarled like roots. "You can't just keep planting, keep taking. You have to let it lie, let it gather its strength. Only then will it give you a good harvest." It's the same for a soldier. We've been harvesting death for months, years. Now, we are the fallow field. This stillness is our rest, our time to gather strength, to let our spirit settle and deepen. It's a time to accept the dust and the heat, the gnawing hunger, the uncertainty. To accept that we are here, now, and that the past cannot be changed, and the future is not yet written. The young Tyron I saw earlier, the one staring into the distance, he's now cleaning his lorica segmentata. Slowly, deliberately, each plate getting a careful rub. He's learned, or is learning. It's not just about the gleam, it's about the focus. The simple, repetitive task that draws the mind away from fruitless worries and centers it on what can be done. It's a small act of control in a world spinning out of control. That too is a Stoic's advantage. The sun begins its slow descent, painting the sky in fiery hues of orange and purple. The shadows lengthen, bringing a slight, welcome relief from the heat. Soon the cooking fires will glow, and the men will gather closer, seeking warmth and camaraderie. The stillness will be filled with voices, with the sharing of meager rations, with tales, some true, some embellished. But the deeper stillness, the one within, will remain. Tomorrow, the march might resume, or we might stay here another day, or two, or three, watching, waiting, preparing. Whatever comes, I will meet it. I will meet it with eyes clear and a mind unburdened by what cannot be changed. This stillness has allowed for that. This stillness has sharpened the edge of my resolve. We are Caesar's men. We have fallen, but we are not broken. We have retreated, but we are not defeated. Not yet. The silence deepens as night claims the plain. The stars begin to prick through the velvet blackness, countless and indifferent. Another day gone, another stillness embraced. Valerius, Centurion, ex-Legion. Thessaly, 48 BC.